No, stop, do it again. I'm camera shy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't read that off the card.
I'm not the only one. I feel better now already, James. Hello, I'm Professor Peta Ashworth. I'm Director of the Andrew N. Liveris Academy for Innovation and Leadership, and I'm here with one of our scholars, James, and we're here to answer some questions about the Academy. Well,
I think I've got the first one here. So what is the Liveris Academy?
So the Andrew N. Liveris Academy was established by a global business leader, Andrew Liveris, and his wife Paula, who are really committed to building leaders of the 21st century. We really hope through the Academy to build leaders that can create change and deal with some of these global issues like sustainability, digital transformation, global technology and innovation. There's a lot of challenges that come with those, and that's our hope for the Academy. What does it mean to you to be a Liveris Scholar?
Well, it's a huge honour and a privilege, really, that I get to work with so many talented individuals, you know, both my fellow students, my fellow scholars, and the staff that we work with as well. So that's really fantastic. But I'm the kind of person who likes to take every opportunity there is to learn something new. And through the Liveris Academy, I'm getting to learn so many more things outside of my traditional engineering syllabus. That it's really fascinating for me to look at different aspects of academia and the culture of academics and even in the industry and outside of engineering specifically. So it's really interesting for me. Who should apply to be a Liveris Scholar?
Well, at this stage, I would encourage students that are in Year 12 who are interested in studying engineering, science, or sort of any other broad degrees that I suppose consider themselves leaders in their own right, possibly Year 12, or they might even be starting to look at something like this in Year 11. But what we're looking for is that academically you've done well through schooling, and then also I think that you've shown leadership potential through the years, even in your school years. Some of our current scholars have gone on different philanthropic ventures, those sorts of things, have participated in leadership programs. So I think the students that might apply would probably self-select or be encouraged by their schools themselves because they have that leadership potential, or sort of feel that, you know, they've got some interesting things to challenge and would like to be sort of developed in that way.
What are the benefits of being a scholar?
Well, you could probably answer that question. You get to work with me. No, the benefits of being a scholar are huge, I think. The whole of the university is really behind this academy, and obviously being founded by Andrew Liveris and his wife Paula, he is personally devoted to making sure this is a success. So there's a lot of benefits to the scholars. We get together once a fortnight, and part of that is taking scholars through innovation programs, or through, you know, that whole process, I guess. Making sure as a cohort you're developing and friendships and understanding of that, but also then this exposure to a whole range of different activities and leaders from around the world and also from across the university here to really, I think, develop this all-rounded leader that sort of gets exposed, because of course, although at the moment you're studying in the engineering side of things, it's these other skills that we can bring through the program that I think is really what is the benefit of being part of the program.
I agree with that completely. Some of my fellow scholars are really interesting people to work with, and it's really great to get to know them. But also meeting, like we had dinner with Andrew Liveris and the Vice Chancellor, Peter Hoy, and that was, you know, quite amazing as a first, second year engineer to go and meet such big names and such important people like that was really quite exciting. And then also the collaboration with the business school with Professor Tim Castell is really interesting, and it's not something that I think many engineering students get to do, is look at the business school side of things and look at developing ideas from that sort of perspective. So I find that really interesting.
Yeah, I do remember that dinner, and I wondered how much the scholars realised how lucky they were. I mean, it's very rare that many people at university get to have dinner with the Vice-Chancellor, let alone with someone like Andrew Liveris.
Yeah, that was quite amazing for all of us, yeah.
And to be at Customs House in that beautiful venue, yeah.
Very unique experience.
So, when you finish, what would be your dream job?
I think anything that I find engaging and challenging would probably be, I'd be happy as a job doing that, but particularly something in the aerospace industry, looking at furthering our knowledge of anything, but of space in particular, looking at our understanding of the universe, but also a job that has some sort of benefit to people. It's not a completely theoretical, cold hard academic type job, but something that would be beneficial to society.
Can you give me an example of what you think that might be from an aerospace or?
Well, one project recently that's really interesting is the Mars Perseverance rover launching in July. They've got attach to that a little flying drone that's going to fly on Mars, the first vehicle ever to fly on Mars that hasn't, landed with rockets, to fly around and take pictures and look more at scope out places for the rover to go and investigate, basically, but hopefully leading on to looking at the possibility of past life on Mars or past existence of water, any sort of thing like that, and working on a unique project like that, something groundbreaking, something brand new that's never been done before, that has huge scientific ramifications and affects, finding life on another planet would be a huge thing for everyone on Earth. So I think that'd be the dream, to look at something like that.
Exciting. Do you have aspirations to go to NASA or somewhere like that?
That'd be pretty cool, yeah.
On
That's
list.
up there as one of the ideals, yeah.
Maybe an internship as part of the scholarship program?
That'd be great,
Yep.
yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. What is your vision for the future of the Academy at UQ?
It's a good question, because I think I've got multiple visions. I think one of the key things is building the cohort. At the moment, we've got 10 scholars. I'm really keen to see that we have a bustling, thriving academy of maybe 50 students coming in every year, and potentially from multiple disciplines. Obviously, we're starting to expand that. So to do that, we're going to need additional donors and funders that I hope would sort of come because they share the dream and they see the quality of the scholars. Like this first cohort, which you're a part of, I think are a really good example of what the scholars should be and what they might achieve. As we grow that, I think the other part that's really important is building this alumni. So as scholars move through and go off in the world and do all of the different things that they do, that they still feel connected, a bit like Andrew did as an alumnus to UQ, to the Liveris Academy, and wanting to give back and being able to mentor other scholars as they come through. And I think the other thing is actually enabling the scholars to reach their dreams, so that when they want to go on an internship, like yourself, if you want to go to NASA or to the US, how can we help facilitate that? So you can really start to think about where that takes you in your career. And similarly, a bit like we had the other day with Anthony Liveris, pushing you to perhaps do something you wouldn't normally expect to do as well. So getting all of those different parts to build you up to be these strong leaders that can go out and really make a difference. And from the Liveris Academy, tracking where they go and what is the difference that they're making in the world. So this is interesting. So how do you hope to use your platform as a Liveris scholar to create positive change? You've alluded to it a little bit, but...
Well, that's a good question. I think probably the main thing is that, they say knowledge is power. And a huge part of this Liveris Academy is that I get to learn a lot more things that I wouldn't do otherwise. So I think learning those new things is really going to help me affect change later on, because I'll just be a more capable individual. The projects we're working on and the internship possibilities and the volunteering opportunities are really going to help affect positive change in the short term as well. But I think particularly the long term, it'll help make me and my fellow scholars more capable engineers or more capable members of society that'll really be working towards affect positive change in the future.